I'm going to bring Luka Doncic to the table here.
Okay.
Do you have another Laker?
I do.
Okay. So we'll add whoever that person is at the end here. But I think that Luka is probably the guy that is most important just league wide to me this year. Because really last year was not great. Let's just be real about it. Last year was not Luka's best, in large part because he dealt with the calf injury. And then when he got back, I felt like he was still not really in great game shape at that point, which was a problem. So I think that if all of the reports are true, the whatever fitness magazine that Luka did, certainly I thought he looked in way better shape at like Eurobasket. So we do have like some proof of concept here. If Luka is making a commitment to his fitness, I think he might be the MVP this year. Like I think he's in that conversation immediately. If he's not, the Lakers just don't really have a shot at all. If he is in his like full, I am staying like in shape, I am making sure I'm leaned out, I am doing everything I can to put myself in position to be the most successful basketball player I can be. And again, last year I think was a bit of an anomaly because of the calf injury and the trade and so much upheaval for Luka that I think people really need to recognize the way that that can like impact somebody's lifestyle in a lot of ways. But this year to me is a really important one for Luka to kind of get back on track. This is a guy that's made 5 first team all NBAs already.
Yeah.
And last year was such a funky year that I feel like even though he had made literally 5 straight first team all NBAs in each of the last 5 years, that people are like a little bit down on him and that the momentum has kind of stopped, even though we are in the middle of a season where he got traded and had a calf injury. I'm expecting Luka. Like I didn't want to put Luka on the breakout list because Luka is a 5-time first team all NBA player and literally has averaged 29 points per game for his career. I thought that would be completely ridiculous. But I think we're in for just a completely comical, like incredible Luka season is what I would say.
I think over on the Pistons Pulse, 02, I think predicted Giannis. I think I predicted Luka for MVP, and I hadn't put a ton of thought into it. Like we were just kind of casually talking about it over there, but I think this is a good name. You know, for me, whenever we get into the list, and especially like immediately when we get into the other Laker I had, it's definitely not like a name that's as big as this. You know what I mean? I think when you first think of this for the entire NBA, like I think Luka's probably the name. You know what, from my side of it, kind of how I explained it was like each individual team, and then, you know, and then I ranked it out from there. So like I think because if Luka is the Luka we know, the 5 straight first team all NBA Luka, and you know, and then we'll talk a little bit about, you know, the rest of the Lakers and how that really makes this Western Conference even more interesting. An elite level Luka adds another team into the tier of Western Conference contenders in an already stacked Western Conference of the Thunder, the Rockets, for me, the Nuggets. And so I think in regards to the NBA as a whole, I like this answer a lot because, and you know, the biggest award in our game, him at his highest level, he's now up there with SGA and Jokic and those guys, you know, and Giannis in that conversation as well. So I like this one. I went with a Laker that wasn't as big of a name just because I think that person, you know, the type of season they have is going to have a major impact on their success as well. But I like us starting here with a name like Doncic.
I think that the big thing for me with Luka is that this is now his age 26 season, right? This is when it should really be coming in and he should be hitting his prime, right? Sure. Like this is where we should be like truly seeing it. Like he just made the finals as a 24-year-old, right? He averaged 34 points a game. This is a 24-year-old that year and was a complete monster. Almost averaged a triple-double, 34, 9.8, and 9.2, and led his team to the finals. And then Nico Harrison kind of loses his mind and trades him, right? This is the year where we should see it from Luka. Like, this is the year where, okay, we've suffered some adversity a little bit, right? We just got bounced in the first round of the playoffs and frankly, like, didn't look awesome in that series, right? Like, for the first time in his career. I know Luka averaged 30 in that series, but the passing and playmaking like didn't feel totally right, and the defense was a total mess to me. So every other really playoff series in his career, he's been the best player on the court. I think he finally got outdone by Anthony Edwards. I'm sorry. Anthony Edwards in a playoff series, right? So what can you do now? What can you bring to the table, Luka? Do you got it? I think he's got it. I think he's ready to like really blow up this season and be the dude. Like, not just one of the 5 or 6 dudes in the league, but I think there's a chance that we look at this season and see Luka as like, oh yeah, this Lakers team that we have all these millions of questions about entering the year. Oh no, like it's Luka's show now. It's his team. LeBron is there to support him. Luka goes for like 30, 10, and 8 per game. And now we're rolling. Like, the Lakers are kind of in a 6 spot here moving forward.
We talked about it when the trade happened that, like, if there was ever a time for Luka to buy into, like, to get a chip on his shoulder, it was a move like this, you know, getting traded away from Dallas. And, you know, and I don't know, like, I have no idea what him and LeBron's relationship is, but I'm not just getting traded and being motivated in that way, but getting traded and playing with a player who has withstood the test of time, you know, like, has us all questioning, you know, like, how is he doing this at his age still? And we talked about, like, you know, in a weird way, this be the best thing for Luka Doncic's individual career? As much as we didn't agree with the trade, as much as we felt for Mavericks fans and all of that, was this potentially the exact thing to untap Luka's highest of ceilings? And I know that's crazy to say with all the other stuff we've already brought up, the first team All NBAs and, you know, the runs in the playoffs and all of that. But if he's going to have elongate his career as far as possible, was this actually the wake up call, if he needed one, to say, I need to respect my body and what it takes to be in the best shape? And here's the chip on the shoulder. And here's the, I don't want to say role model in that sense, but here's the model to do it with LeBron James. Like, who better to learn from and to watch and to take in, because nobody's done it better in terms of longevity than LeBron. Yeah,
I think that's right. Just looked at Fanatics Sportsbook real quick to see what
where's he at?
MVP. He's third, plus 450 for MVP.
Behind Jokic and SGA?
That's correct. Those are the exact 2 he's behind. And then you mentioned Giannis. Giannis is plus 800, which I think is actually like kind of a big number for Giannis. But I just wonder if they're going to be good enough at the end of the day.
Yep.
Okay. You're up next.
I don't want to go to the Laker I had, because like, I think it's a different tier. Can we come back if we even want to get into that name, or do you want me just to say it and we won't really dive
Let's talk about the Laker, and then I'll give you another name after, just because if we want to do this as a pool video, which we might, it makes sense.
So I actually had 2 names here. One, like, you're going to hate me, is DeAndre Ayton. And I
think DeAndre is an important name.
Oh, okay. Year. Okay. I didn't know if you'd be like, come on, Bryce. Like, I think he's important. And I think, to your point, like, it's just fascinating. Like, what is this watching DeAndre Ayton and JJ Redick may be worth the price of admission to sit as close to the court as possible, to listen to what JJ said and to get JJ's facial expressions with some of the stuff that's going to happen. With that said, this is a team, again, like I mentioned, that could really catapult into Western Conference contention if Luka is what we just said. LeBron stays healthy. I don't have Austin Reeves here because I know what I think Austin Reeves is as a player, and I'm just confident in that. To me, DeAndre Ayton is the piece. And if he comes in and he's a lob threat and figures out things defensively and develop, like, what if he does develop chemistry with Luka in the pick and roll, Sam? Or has some chemistry with Austin Reeves in the second unit if they're playing together in second units? Like, all of a sudden, this is a hole in the team, a question you mentioned earlier that gets answered. Now, why I think he's the most important, is because it could go way the other direction. And what if it's an absolute dumpster fire? What's the answer? What is the answer on the roster if it doesn't go well and JJ doesn't trust him and doesn't feel like he can play him? Give me the answer to the center position.
I think it's not on the roster currently is the answer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you. Like, if Ayton is good, it makes life a lot easier. It means they don't have to trade using their relatively limited, like, they're starting to accumulate more assets now as time goes by, and they haven't gone for this like kind of all-in move. Like, they haven't done what it does is if Ayton can play, part of the reason that I've seen some people like be in favor of them doing a first round pick for Andrew Wiggins, right? Using some of their expiring money, Gabe Vincent, etc., to be able to then move that for Andrew Wiggins along with a first round pick. My reason why I wouldn't do that right now, I might be in favor of it in a couple of months, but the reason to not do that now is that you might need that pick value at some point to go get a center if it doesn't work.
Yeah, and what if Jake LaRavia and Marcus Smart do enough that you don't feel like you need Wiggins? And like, what if those two guys are really good and Ayton is really bad, right? Like, that's a scenario. Then, okay, well, now you're looking to move somebody else to go get a center. So yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah. So like, to me, it's a really important thing for the Lakers to just kind of play this out to start the year and not just go, oh yeah, like, let's go do Andrew Wiggins now. Like, let's see what they've got. Do we have an answer at center with Ayton? Do we have, answers on the wing with LaRavia, Smart, etc.? Let's find out first. Yeah. Right. Maybe we know, maybe we don't, is kind of the thing. Like, I think that they need to kind of play this a little bit more patiently though than what, I think some Lakers fans want, just because look, if you have LeBron, Luka, and you have enough bodies now in terms of depth to where you should be able to like make the playoffs in the regular season. If Luka gets hurt or LeBron gets hurt, like, you're probably in trouble anyway. Yeah. So I think there's real reason right now to be patient and play this out just like a little bit more. Not like, I'm not sitting here saying like you have to wait until the day before the deadline to make a move, but I would want to see what the team looks like before making a move.
Yeah, give those two guys a chance to show, does Smart have anything left defensively? And with LaRavia, is he the defender that I think he is, which I think is better than what most people think he is or realize right now? And, can he knock down shots in LA and all of those things? And is there anybody else, right? Like, not that it would be the defensive side of things, but does Connect come back and give you more? Does Vanderbilt stay healthy? And, I'm with you. I think I would give it a little bit of time, find out those answers. And like you said, and get your answer for Ayton, because no matter what the wing situation is, if Ayton's a disaster, you have to go solve that. Even if those guys aren't the answer on the wing, you have to go solve the center position with some sort of trade like what we saw get negated during last season.